So the year has started, and several award shows, local, international, and it's got me thinking, you know, you have to put in a little bit of effort to get recognized.
Yes, you do. And well, when it comes to critics' choice, you know, there are a lot of critics out there. The Critics' Choice Awards ceremony and the MVPs and all that has already happened, meaning that people are already getting recognized for their work so early in the year.
Already, you know, and that's happening all around us. Anyway, start something today, and an award might be out there waiting for you.
Now, I think you've probably done something fantastic already just by joining us today on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Onyesa.
Yeah, joining us is an achievement.
Yes, it is. It is something to actually be
Well, if you wake up
for.
at 6 a.m.
Yeah, you woke up, you could see.
And decided that you were going to join
us.
us.
You could talk. Come on, some people woke up this morning and didn't have that.
Yeah, anyway, I'm Yomi Okwe.
And I'm Titilayo Onyesa.
You can stream with us live right now at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Please send in those comments. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms.
Our app is also available for download both on the Android and iOS store. And this app allows you to watch us from any device, anywhere you are.
Yes, indeed. So, I think we should get the show on the road. We need to tell everyone what we're doing.
Yeah,
And we have our first musical performance for the day. We have soulful singer, songwriter, and crooner of the song, Eligible, singing her latest song,
Yeah, it feels like a throwback song from the 80s. Yeah, for the latest in the world of entertainment, stick around for local and international updates as Shine Bego and Mike Nasikeno have us covered on that front.
And on our health segment today, we have Dr. Maimouna Yusuf Kadri, a dynamic neuropsychiatrist, and it's all about postpartum depression. Very big deal, PPD.
We started this topic last week, and probably will continue this week as well. And then we are joined by Carmen Amaka, a singer and songwriter, and also Nigerian of Polish origin. A Pole of Nigerian origin. Well, anyway, she's joining us today for a chat.
And on parenting today, we have the founder of Fab Mom NG. Jane is going to be back. Now she's going to be talking about activities to engage in during maternity leave.
And finally, we have a double dose of delight for you as the dynamic duo of Gemstone from SOP Records will be doing a performance for us as well.
Yeah. So the Gemstones are actually twins.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
So it's a double dose indeed.
Yeah. So
so the twins, twin rappers.
Yeah.
Twin female rappers.
But they also sing as well.
I know
they
them for singing. I was actually surprised to see them rapping.
I was surprised myself.
If you rap alone, you're on a long team.
Ah.
As entertainment is like this now, you cannot just say, I'm a rapper and you're chill. You have to give some melody or rap. You have to mix it
to
up.
get wide appeal.
Exactly.
Wider
appeal than it normally is. Rap music is not as,
It's still a bit niche in Nigeria.
Yeah, it's not as prevalent as it is outside here. So you just have to feel it. I mean,
rap music in Nigeria it comes and goes.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. There was a time it was all rap, everybody was going crazy over rap, and it does seem like it's coming up again. I still find it weird to hear Olamide doing street music because I know him originally to be a rapper, not just a rapper, but a very good rapper.
I mean,
you talk about Fino, you talk about Il Bliss. The pioneer of Igbo rap, so many of them like that.
I love the idea of female rappers coming back out, though. There were quite a few about 7 years ago, and then they sort of started to, calm down. We don't really hear that much from many of them. They're doing other things.
When we talk about local female musicians that are out of circulation, in quotes, one that I know I would like to see back is Cynthia Morgan. Okay, now her name is now Madrina.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's changed her name.
Rebranding.
I think it was a management thing, of something similar with Kiss Daniel, perhaps.
Okay, so
But-
changing.
So yeah, she's no longer Cynthia
labels.
Morgan. She's now Madrina. She's been Madrina for about 2 years. Now she's been releasing music, but because people know her as Cynthia Morgan, when they see Madrina, they think it's an upcoming artist or that sounds like her. But it's actually her.
Goodness
Sometimes
me.
this entertainment.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
If they just forget, no, I don't want to say forget, but if something happens and you're not in the spotlight as you used to be, it just seems like you just seem like a throwback already. Like getting back into
Exactly.
it is
It's tougher.
It can
It's
be
tougher than-
it can be some. And then for females also, I don't know. I've thought about it, tried to research, but I don't know. The female, especially the rappers, man, it's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, we know about how good someone like Eva is. I mean, we had the Sasha P.
Even Muna Chi.
Yeah.
Muna, Kel.
Yeah,
When I went to be arguing with Mode 9, that was what did her.
No, funny enough.
But she's doing well. She's doing well as
actually
an actress
amazing,
now.
she's a very talented actor as well. But I guess it's when, one window begins to close that you begin to open other doors.
Try to diss
that
Mode
kind of
9.
thing.
What is doing her?
You know how long ago that was? Goodness, that was over a decade ago.
Yeah, but that's still following her though.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say it's time for us to take the news.
And Sarah's looking pretty
Really
nice.
good.
Sarah.
All right, then. Nice to see you guys this morning. It's a new day. Let's go to the news updates now. And we're going to be telling you that the 2019 Finance Bill, which has now been signed into law by President Muhammad Buhari, and it is specially designed to support the implementation of this year's budget. It is a sequel to its passage by the National Assembly and subsequent forwarding to the President for assent. Special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, explains in a statement that the finance law has 5 strategic objectives. They are promoting fiscal equity, reforming domestic tax laws, introducing tax incentives, supporting micro, small and medium-sized businesses, and raising revenues for the government. Meanwhile, Nigerians will now pay 7.5% as value-added tax after its increase from 5% was captured in the approved finance law. The new rate is expected to shore up revenue and will be deployed to fund the health and education sectors as well as infrastructure projects. Well, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has frozen the bank accounts of a former senator from Kaduna State, Shehu Sani. In a statement, his senior special advisor also said the former lawmaker was forced to declare his assets. The EFCC had arrested Mr. Sani for allegedly demanding money from one Sani Dauda, the owner of ASD Motors, to bribe acting chairman of the agency, Ibrahim Magu. This was to influence an investigation, an allegation the former lawmaker has denied. But the anti-graft agency insists it has questions to answer on the matter. In the meantime, the National Association of Nigerian Students has described the detention of Shehu Sani as unfair, prearranged, and politically motivated. The association says both the giver and the receiver in the alleged extortion should be investigated accordingly. It also urges the EFCC to purge itself of criminal elements within its fold or as associates. Members of the Nigerian Legion in Edo State have been assured of their inclusion in the security architecture of the state. They will be bringing their wealth of experience and training in making the state safer. Governor Godwin Obaseki disclosed this at the launch of the 2020 Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem at the Government House in Benin City. The governor urged stakeholders to join hands with government to promote the welfare of Legion and their families because they are people who paid the sacrifices to keep the nation in unity.
The time has come for us as stakeholders in the Nigerian project to join hands with government to promote the welfare of the Legion of ex-servicemen and their families, because these are people who have paid the supreme sacrifice to keep our country. It will also help to stimulate the consciousness and desire, particularly of the younger generation, to also be able to put their lives on the line in service of our great country when they are required.
Well, the chairman of the Edo State chapter of the Nigerian Legion, Sonny Eboigbe, a retired colonel, commended the governor for supporting the Nigerian Legion while assuring him of their unflinching support and solidarity to engender good governance.
The sacrifice of these gallant heroes can be appreciated by assisting the living veterans, the widows, and the independents of the fallen heroes to ameliorate their pitiable plight and sufferings. For our able-bodied veteran, we hereby remind Your Excellency that we are retired from security services, but not tired.
Very interesting points there. The Deputy President of the Senate, Ovi Omo Agege, has refuted claims of being convicted for some charges leveled against him by a court in the U.S. state of California. Senator Omo Agege insists that he has been cleared of all charges in the said case, referring to the recent allegations as unfounded and misleading. He affirms his commitment to his mandate and reiterates that he will not be distracted by the antics of some politicians seeking to stir up confusion through mere mischief. Now, remember the story of one Ajayi Omolola who was trafficked to Lebanon from where she cried for help? Well, TVC News can authoritatively report that she is now happily in the hands of the Nigerian ambassador in Beirut, Goni Modi Bura. She was warmly received and happy to be in safe hands. She will be home soon by God's grace, and the man who held her hostage has also been apprehended. TVC News first reported the story on the 9th of January when the chairman, Nigerian in the Diaspora Commissioner Dabiri Erewa, was tagged on Twitter to help the lady trapped in Lebanon.
Not knowing that I had been so through here is not funny at all. I'm just praying not to give up.
Well, before this, TVC News had reported that 3 other ladies were in slavery in Lebanon. They have now been freed and reunited with their families. Well, that's the news update on this hour. We're back at the top of the hour for more news updates. It's time to let you know what the weather will be like today.
All right, well, we have the headlines here, and starting with the Punch. The headline is this: private sector knocks federal government as Buhari signs finance bill, increasing VAT rate amounts to erosion of capital, says LCCI. You can't operate bank account without TIN, FIRS insists. It also says federal government to earn 2.08 trillion naira from VAT. Highlights of bill on page 26. Right beside the masthead here, it says police NSCDC increase security around US-UK embassies. Supreme Court delivers Kano, Imo, Sokoto, other governor judgments today. Soyinka hails Amotekun. Southeast meets on own security outfit. SIM card. Man sues Buhari's daughter. DSS demands 500 million naira. Omo Agege group clash over alleged U.S. conviction. Customs shortlist 162,399 out of 828,333 applicants. Moving to the bottom of the page here, it says 4 naval men on rescue mission killed in Ondo. I can't get senators with 1 billion naira property as sureties, says Maina. And a final one here: clubbing kings don't deserve any respect, says Alafi. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
Yeah, let's look at the Vanguard. this Tuesday. 50 years after, let's revisit issues that caused civil war. Go on, Shoyinka, Ania Utomi Akintoye said yesterday. They all say war is horrible. Nigerians must never fight each other again. That's some good advice there. And at the bottom here, alleged $24,000 extortion. Why detained Shehu Sani rejects lie detector test, says aide. Use of presidential jet. I can't wait to have another project, says Hanan Buhari. And 15% of cancer deaths in West Africa from Nigeria, Moshibaja says. And fate of 6 governors hanging as sick judge forces Supreme Court panel to adjourn. And up here we have a few stories. 7.5% VAT regime kicks off as Buhari signs finance bill. Hike will worsen economic woes of Nigerians, OPS Labour said. And customs shortlists over 160,000 people from more than 800,000 applicants. NIMASA, NBS move to aggregate shipping sector contribution to GDP. And Amatekun, a pleasant gift by Southwest governors, Wole Soyinka says. And finally, lack of PIB threatens federal government's 40 billion barrels reserves, says Vanguard investigation there. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
On the cover of The Nation, it says 7.5% VAT kicks off as Buhari signs finance bill. TIN now compulsory for bank account holders. Implementation to wait till Gazette. Now, he also gives a little breakdown of other VAT in Africa. It says in Algeria, it's as high as 19%. In South Africa, it's 15%. In Rwanda, it's 18%. So 7.5% in comparison, there is quite a wide gap. It also says here, right under the masthead, Customs shortlists 162,399 applicants. Diversion on Kara Bridge today. Page 6 has more on that. Supreme Court halts proceedings over Justice's ill health. Ihedioha, Ganduje, Autumn, others to no fate today. Just above the masthead here, Nigerian lady rescued from Lebanon slavery. How we did it by official. Meanwhile, go on, Utomi Anya warn against another civil war. Dangote renews bid to buy Arsenal, targets next year. And right at the bottom here, federal government issues alert over disease outbreak in China. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be taking our traffic reports after this break.
Thank you for staying tuned. It is time for Lagos traffic updates on Wake Up Nigeria. We're about to give tips on the best routes for you this morning to get to your destination faster and, of course, safe and sound. As always, we encourage that you help other road users by dropping relevant traffic situation reports on all our social media pages using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. All right, let's get started. As it is, it will take you just about 45 minutes to go from Ile-Epo bus stop all the way to Mushi bus stop, this area, this morning. So I'll just tell you red areas to look out for. There's traffic just before you get to Yanopaja, and it continues until after the bridge. But the traffic doesn't seem to be for long. You'll find that the road is mostly free until you get to Dokpemu, just like traffic at Dokpemu, after which it's free-flowing until you get to Mangoro Access. At Mangoro Access, pockets of light traffic, gridlock as well, but mostly light traffic until you're approaching Punch Estate. That's where the traffic eases out. But as soon as you're past that, just after Nigerites, around Ile-Zik Access, it's bumper to fender traffic all the way to you're almost at the Ikeja Bridge, okay? So through National, there's traffic there this morning. And it's mostly free until you get to the arena access where there's a bit of a gridlock there, mainly pockets of light traffic. So that's another place to look out for. But as soon as you're past the Oshodi Bridge, where there's light traffic, you would experience a bit of gridlock, after which is mostly free until you get to Mushi bus stop this morning. So it's not so bad. 45 minutes all the way from Ilekpo bus stop, and you will be at Mushi bus stop without any hassles at all. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys have tweets for me, right?
Yeah, we're just checking out, just opening up a few of these platforms. I have Traffic Butter here. A few updates. Lots of ads nowadays. So
yeah,
lots
it
of
does
ads.
feel like that as well.
Yeah. So the major bus stops, bit of traffic, not too bad. Here it says the state government needs to prefer a solution to cabs and bikes causing traffic all along the cities. Talking about the area around Maryland, lots of buses, yellow buses there, where you know it's difficult to pass. And once you pass, you then discover that there's no traffic because all the bus stops have been blocked off. And still on across Ikorodu Road area, Jibowu, Palm Grove, all the major bus stops seem to be quite busy again on the service lane, completely blocked because of the yellow buses. So that's what I have here. I don't know if you have anything.
Right, thank you very much. If you're heading out from motorways right now, heading towards Obalende Under Bridge, it does seem like you will spend just about 51 minutes to get to your destination. It was 45 minutes just 30 seconds ago, but it does seem like the travel time has increased, which means that traffic is building at the moment. So areas to look out for, it's pretty free from Tollgate bus stop. But when you are around Chinatown, just as you're approaching Chinatown, light traffic, and there's a gridlock for a while, but only for a short while, after which it eases to light traffic. And it goes on that way until you are approaching Ogudu. That's where there's free-flowing traffic. However, as soon as you get to Ogudu, prepare yourself for light traffic, pockets of light traffic, a gridlock around the Bagada area, light traffic from Orun Shoki, after which it eases out again as you're getting on the Third Mainland Bridge. And, well, pockets of light traffic on the bridge. The traffic starts, that's the gridlock starts, just after the Akoka access of the Third Mainland Bridge. And it goes on that way with pockets of light traffic in between, but mostly a gridlock until you get to Obalende on that bridge this morning. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys have more tweets for me. What's up on the roads?
So trying to check some other.
I actually saw one. I saw someone trying to alert people about a truck with a container almost falling off its back, or rather off its, what do they call the thing behind the trailer? I'm not sure what they call it these days. But
what location is that?
At Lekki Tollgate. And the person is asking, pleading that that truck should be detained to avoid an accident or something, because what is carrying the trailer is obviously not strong enough. There are about 3 pictures there of this trailer. It's almost halfway off its base there. And depending on who's on the roads right now, this was about 10 minutes ago, so it shouldn't have gone that far, and it should be easy to track. Hopefully someone is out there.
Yeah, still on traffic. Butter. There's a number of locations in Surulere, 2 major locations in Surulere with filled sections and pictures actually to go with it. And usually this causes a lot of traffic in Surulere. So there's one on Omilani Street in Ijesha, and then another one on Eniton Street. That's a popular street also. In Surulere as well, Aguda, Surulere specifically. And these 2 areas cause a lot of traffic in the morning because, you know, cars are slowing down to get past. So they have actually failed sections of the road, and that needs to be also looked into as well.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. I'll just take the final routes this morning. If you're heading from Maryland bus stop to CMS Garage, altogether it will take you about 46 minutes at the moment. Traffic seems to be building up there because just a short while ago, it was just about 44 minutes. So prepare your mind for that. As it is, the red areas to look out for, besides pockets of traffic all the way from Maryland, you should be prepared to experience traffic gridlock just after Unikpanu. All through Fadeyi axis, there's a gridlock there. You might experience light traffic somewhere in between, especially at the Fadeyi bus stop axis, but it's only for a very short while, so that's where the gridlock runs through. However, as you're getting on the bridge, is mostly free. Through National Stadium is free, but as you're approaching the Bode Thomas, that's the Alaka Estate, there's a gridlock there, and it will take you all the way till you get to Ikmori Market. So that's another access to look out for. Pockets of light traffic on Eko Bridge until you're getting to the Akpogmo axis, where there's another gridlock, okay? So you need to look out for that one. Getting off Akpogmo as well, there's a gridlock, okay? And approaching CMS itself, that's the garage, there's a gridlock as well. So those are red areas to look out for. And that's it on Lagos traffic updates this morning on Wake Up Nigeria. Remember to drive carefully, have consideration for other road users, and be at alert at all times, okay? I'll join the guys in the kitchen right now. I'm sure there's a gist or two for you to catch us with.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Mary.
So there's a trend online. Naira Marley is trending, and it's for a reason. So they're looking at street credibility, and it's Naira Marley versus Terry G. You need to see one or two responses. I just need to mention
I was looking at it myself. I was
I saw Terry G.
In fact, look at this. If I say, as far as Naira Marley never run mad, he's still behind Terry G. Remember this line, you can only run past Terry G when you run mad. Okay. They say, well, okay, look at this. This is somebody, this is absolutely Josh. So that I don't say it's Mike. I'm a Malian, that's Josh. He's a Malian. Comparing Naira Marley to Terry G is blasphemy. Terry G that his head is not correct. Somebody that did part 1 to 3 for a song that we all knew did not make one single sense. But once he rang that his bell, we'll be scratching our chest like possessed monkeys.
Wow.
That's disrespectful to Terry G, to the legacy of Terry G. Terry G, don't mind them. Don't mind them at all.
No.
So it's funny and it's interesting.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
You know, people pick up all these social media wars sometimes for no reason at all. So you hear Ghana versus Nigeria.
No, that one is
that's always there.
That one is a real war.
Then you hear Nigeria versus Kenya. Those ones are hilarious because, you know, we know we're dark in Nigeria, but, you know, when you then talk about maybe the East Africans, it's really...
You are the one who said it, though.
No, they are. We know now. Those are
well, pretty, yeah. So it's usually quite crazy. Then you also see all these trends about OAU versus Ife.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Those are the kind of schools that can fight.
Ife versus Unilag.
Unilag. Those are schools that can fight.
But those were the things that used to trend
and they are
years
hilarious.
And years ago,
oh
before
my
trending
goodness.
was even a thing. Yeah. Those kind of things used to trend.
Yes, now. Those ones are battles.
But my challenge is, what are they comparing them for? Is it for skill? Is it for influence? Is it for craziness?
It's just for fun. Abusing teachers and talking about the students. Okay, there was a trend between, I think, UI and Ilorin. So you know how it is. Ilorin is a bit further up north and all of that, and you know they say that you'll be in class and cattle will be passing. So
wow.
Some things are just...
So you just never know. Because I mean they're students. I mean some of these guys are 16, 17. So it's fun, but it's also sometimes just a bit crazy because students can't say anything.
But you know this thing you're saying, it's just bringing something to mind. When we were younger, not like we are old now. At least I am not old in comparison to Uncle Yomi. But I'm just kidding. Wow. When we were younger, though, seriously, we tend to get a lot of yabs, and we just brush it off. That it's part of life. Sometimes you cry.
Yeah, they used to call it yabs. You feel
sad. Yes, that's what we used to call it. You feel sad. And
no, it's not yab, it's wording.
That one is wicked. Don't go to the wording.
Wording
is different from yabs. You see, yab is where they just drop it. Wording is when they now... Give
we
it
are,
to
we
you
are
live
on
and
this thing.
live.
You want to start there, so this we can also on TV. When you start, hey, Bongolo cigar. What did?
And then, you know,
What it was fun?
well, all those things, we just used to see it as, hey, I'll do my own back. You've done your
Exactly,
own now.
exactly.
And then life goes on, you get, even though you might hurt for a long time. But these days,
They take it so seriously.
people take it so seriously to the
Very,
point that it
very-
causes depression.
I'm telling you, see, yeah, that's where
It's crazy.
That's where when we talk about it, it brings to mind racism in football, which we know is there. You see, but there was this time when Arsenal captain, Xhaka spoke about how one of the reasons why he sweared at Arsenal fans, unheard of. A captain who's been subbed off swears at the fans and said something like his daughter was threatened, his wife and his family was threatened. and
Imagine
all
his
that.
wife having a child and you guys were attacking
Okay,
him.
but now let me
It's
say something.
wicked.
Let me say something. See, let me tell you. There's something about football. Look, fans do everything to get into your head every day. I bet you. It is not supposed to be so, but I tell you that it's commonplace.
Yeah.
Every single, imagine you are telling
It's
me.
just to throw you off.
Through it's you understand.
To throw you off
In fact, there was a
again.
particular time we know it's worse in Italy. Italia, especially Italian authorities, I'll call them out, man. Those guys are at the best. I'll say they are crazy. How do you fight out anti-racism campaign using monkeys and all that? That's off the. But then you imagine I'm going up against you tomorrow and Ronaldo and then you just find something say Ronaldo, that's your daughter. If we hold her, we'll cut her neck.
It's kind
Because you want Ronaldo.
Say they don't mean it, but it's
You
too
understand?
harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's-
know, but
it's
the
harsh,
point is that it has come to a point whereby, you see, some of you have to understand, it's now commonplace. So, like she said, those days, we used to understand. Now, because it's on social media, we need to learn to
just shrug a lot
You
of
say
these
you
things
don't mean
off.
it, but you say harsh things.
Well, you just have to learn to shrug it off because sometimes you're going through something and then you then see a harsh
Another
comment on
thing,
social
yeah.
media and then you respond based on...
Harry and
Yes.
Meghan are obviously not showing.
That's why sometimes...
That's why they're taking
That's why
a walk.
sometimes when a celebrity
Yeah.
responds harshly, they say somebody cannot play with you.
Exactly.
You know where that celeb is coming
Please
from.
know where to draw the line between play and seriousness, I beg. We need to take this break. We'll be back.
Yeah. She's better known by her stage name, Smack B. She's a Dutch-born Nigerian recording artist, songwriter, and of course, performer. She started recording songs in 2006, but she's just been doing it for the love of the game. Now, things became a lot more serious in 2013, and she's been here. She's like you're a family member, now. You're in the house now. So when am I getting this jacket? I like it. And she said, what did you say? You said it doesn't fit
It's
me.
not going to size you.
If I hear sleeveless, it will size anybody. It will size my director self. He's sleeveless. But nice jacket, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah,
very
so how are you
much.
doing? Happy New Year.
I'm good. Happy New Year.
So
to
what's
you
up?
too.
What's happening in 2020? How's the new year going for you?
Yeah, it's going pretty well, and we have a lot that we plan to do this
I
year.
feel a bit overwhelmed by 2020. The way it's just coming, like 2020. This 2020 we'll be talking about since finally here and all of that. But then do you have a new plan, new music coming up for your fans and all of
Yeah,
that?
I
What can
do
they look
have-
forward to this
yeah,
year?
I do have new music, and I'm also working on a video too.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. A video. When should we expect it?
The music will drop before the video,
Before the video.
definitely, yeah. But the music is going to be this January.
Wonderful. I like that. So what are you performing for us today?
I'll be performing Broken.
Oh, Broken. You know your songs, they're always either broken or what's the other one now?
Eligible.
They have this kind of feel. But then, hey, come on, take it away.
Yeah, thank you. Your name is inscribed in my heart. You're just like Judas, and I'm just like Jesus. You look into my eyes and tell me lies. I walk away freely. You look into my eyes and tell me lies. I walk away freely. Yeah.
The time is 7 a.m. and it's the beginning of the second hour of the show. Certainly, you've had a blast so far.
1 hour's gone by already.
Yeah.
Welcome to the second hour of the show. We have a lot lined up for you today.
Hopefully, you have a cup of your favorite beverage. What is it? Tea, coffee, whatever it is. Have it in your hands. Warm yourself up a bit.
Yeah, this helps smoothen things out a little bit. My name is Yomi Owope.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Now, the live streaming is so on point. You need to check it out at tvcentertainment.tv and, of course, on Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
Yeah, send in your comments across the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Or even better, we have the app available for you to download for both Android and iOS stores. So once you have the app, it's so easy to watch us from anywhere.
Yeah, and joining us for this Tuesday edition of the show, Chef AY of AY Subs.
Yes,
She's in the building, and
Yes,
she's going to be with Mary in the kitchen.
Mary has been, rummaging through what she has there. I'm like, Mary, stop
Yeah, I've
it
been
now.
trying to get everything ready. AY just puts me, I don't understand. She just left suddenly. I don't know where she went.
So
Look
I'm
at that
seeing,
combo.
I expect she'll be back
I'm seeing
shortly.
chicken and prawns.
Yes, chicken, prawns. In fact, we are having potatoes, spaghetti. I don't know exactly what she's trying to make.
What exactly
Because
is going on?
potatoes, and I'm not talking about Irish potatoes, but sweet potatoes and pasta. So.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Anyway, straight to what we've got for you for this hour. For the latest in the world of entertainment, stick around for local and international updates as Shine Bego and Mike Mexicana have us covered on that front.
Then when it comes to health, we have our health segment ready for you. We have Dr. Maimouna Yusuf Kadri, a dynamic neuropsychiatrist, and it's all about postpartum depression today.
And then we're joined by Carmen Amaka. She's a singer, songwriter of Nigerian and Polish origin, and she's joining us for a chat as well.
And on parenting today, we have the founder of Fab Mom NG, Jane. She's going to be here. We're going to be talking about activities you can engage in during maternity leave. That's 3 or more months of, a lot of childcare, but you can also use that time for some other things as well on the side. So we'll figure that out soon.
Finally, we have a double dose of delight as the dynamic duo of Gemstone from SOP Records will be performing and also joining us for a chat.
I never thought I'd find the one. You're the one who makes me smile.
This is what they are mostly known for, singing.
Yeah, singing.
Yeah, very nice. So this week or throughout this month, Nigeria is commemorating 50 years of the end of the Civil War.
Yeah.
And so what most people are talking about is never again. There shouldn't be. I mean, war is terrible. For those that witnessed it, it was really, really, really bad. And so everyone's talking about unity and, moving forward and resolution, which is also very important. And we talked about tolerance earlier on during on social media as well. There should always be tolerance, understanding the other person's religion, culture, whatever it is, so that you can also relate with them.
I was speaking with an older uncle of mine, and I was like, so many young folks believe that your generation is docile. And he chuckled. And I was like, why aren't you saying anything? He said, we tried to be not docile one time. Very soon you will understand what we mean. I said, he's trying to tell us that, yes, as young people, it's normal to have your blood running hot. But you also need to consider quite a number of things, especially when you're making decisions.
And for many who don't actually know what happened during that time, there are a lot of writers who have, very detailed books and stories of, what a lot of people went through. There was even a book I read about the cuisine of, people from the East and the origins of so many soups and food that they have, actually came from during that time when they had to basically scavenge.
But you know something, Titi, about all these books? Everybody is writing from their own perspective.
Of course.
Yeah.
There are perspectives, and then there's the truth. From the same region, I've read like 2 different books that weren't so similar, yet you could see, you know, some things that identify.
So when you say perspectives, though, it's perspective is from my point of view.
Yes, from my point of
So
view.
you can't then say there's perspective and truth. So it's usually...
I said there are perspectives, then there's the truth. People have their opinion, but then we know the truth.
Your truth.
Exactly.
So
this
your own
is how I
perspective
saw...
becomes,
Just like
so my
how-
perspective becomes
just
my
like how
truth.
the
Might be your
gospel,
truth, but
Yeah.
the
When you
truth
look at the
is
gospel,
different.
There's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Exactly.
They're all
So
talking about their
perspectives.
relationship with
Yeah.
the Savior.
Yeah.
But then you see that you wouldn't say not on truth, but you know
Exactly.
you see them speaking about the same thing, and
Yeah.
every book everywhere is the same
Exactly.
thing from versions of the Bible and all of that. They all talk about different.
Yeah,
But
so
hey,
different
it's 50
perspectives.
years, so
Yeah,
it's
50 years.
it's in a way like trying to tell us that look, hey, never again.
Never
so it's a
again.
good thing.
Very important.
I feel like, you know, I love what Rwanda has done with the genocide and all of that. It's now become tourist attraction. They've turned something that was a
so
dark
bitter.
dark period, a very, very dark period in the history of the world generally, and now it's now a beacon of light, you know. They
Very
use
important.
it to-
Even South Africa as well,
Yeah.
with their Truth and Reconciliation
Exactly.
Committee. And Mandela coming out to say, look, let bygones be bygones.
be bygones.
Let's move forward. Let's not go and attack the whites because of what they did to us for over 50 years. Let's focus and move on.
Wonderful.
So,
Well, at the end of the day, everybody has to move on. Yeah, everybody has to move on, sad as it might be.
And
we'll move on to the news.
I believe
too.
Nigeria is 60 this year. So
Yeah,
when you
that'll be
Amazing.
much later in
Yeah.
October.
so
Sarah, hi.
Stand by for the news. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Mike, Yomi, everybody, hi. Well, then let's take you through the news updates that we have this morning. We're going to be starting in Abuja, where the 2019 Finance Bill has now been signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari. It's specially designed to support the implementation of this year's budget. Now, this is sequel to its passage by the National Assembly and subsequent forwarding to the President for assent. Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, explains in a statement that the finance law has 5 strategic objectives, and they are promoting fiscal equity, reforming domestic tax laws, introducing tax incentives, supporting micro, small and medium-sized businesses, and raising revenues for government. Meanwhile, Nigerians will now pay 7.5% as value-added tax after its increase from 5% was captured in the approved finance law. The new rate is expected to shore up revenue and will be deployed to fund the health and education sectors as well as infrastructure projects. What Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has frozen the bank accounts of a former senator from Kaduna State, Shehu Sani. In a statement, his senior special advisor also said the former lawmaker was forced to declare his assets. EFCC had arrested Mr. Sani for allegedly demanding money from one Mr. Sani Dauda, the owner of ASD Motors, to bribe acting chairman of the agency, Ibrahim Mago. This was to influence an investigation, an allegation the former lawmaker has denied. But the anti-graft agency insists it has questions to answer on the matter. Meanwhile, the National Association of Nigerian Students has described the detention of Shehu Sani as unfair, prearranged and politically motivated. The association says both the giver and receiver of the alleged extortion should be investigated accordingly. It also urges the EFCC to purge itself of criminal elements within its fold or as associates. Deputy President of the Senate, Ovie Omagege, has refuted claims of being convicted for some charges leveled against him by a court in the U.S. state of California. Senator Omagege insists that he has been cleared of all charges in the said case, referring to the recent allegations as unfounded and misleading. He affirms his commitment to his mandate and reiterates that he will not be distracted by the antics of some politicians seeking to stir up confusion through mere mischief. Now, remember the story of one Ajayi Omolola who was trafficked to Lebanon from where she cried for help? Now, TVC News can authoritatively report that she is now happily in the hands of the Nigerian ambassador in Beirut. She was warmly received and happy to be in safe hands. She will be home soon, and the man who held her hostage has also been apprehended. TVC News first reported a story on the 9th of January when the chairman Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa, was tagged on Twitter to help the lady trapped in Lebanon. Before this, in October last year, TVC News exclusively reported that about 3 other ladies in slavery were in slavery in Lebanon. They have now been freed and reunited with their families. good news there. That's all we have for you on the news update at this time.
Welcome to the Kitchen Radio Wake Up Nigeria. Today's chef is AY Subs. You've got to put the subs.
Let's be hype about it a little bit more.
We're thinking it's Subway.
I mean, the looks. I'm ready. Come on, think about it.
Is this lace?
Yes.
A lace
My mom
apron.
actually made this for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my mom knows how to sew, so she made me something that will be a bit more trendy because, you know, I have my own sense of style, if that makes any sense.
We all know. Okay, so what are we having for breakfast this morning?
Well, let's call it brunch, because this is something that will carry you throughout the whole day, in my opinion, if you're not a wabia, if you know what that means. But yeah, it's casserole, but it's my version of casserole.
Your version of casserole. Okay, so what are we making use of?
We're using most of the ingredients that you normally use in a casserole, but we're swapping some things. So we're using spaghetti instead of macaroni.
That's what's boiling here.
Yes.
Spaghetti.
We're skipping all the veggies, and we're using a sauce because I like chili.
Okay.
So rather than use all your country veggies.
All the veggies is gone.
No, I'm not doing any veggies. All I'm doing is just making a sauce. So it's almost like making a jollof casserole.
Okay.
Because I want it to be spicy, but I want it to have colors, and I want it to have everything that you would miss in a casserole.
Jollof casserole.
More or less.
I've never heard of that one. Okay, so
potatoes, yes.
This is a mix of Irish and sweet potatoes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to boil that and saute it, then it goes in the oven.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward. This is like just shredded chicken and turkey.
Okay.
Some fresh prawns.
Okay. Cheese and egg.
Yes, cheese and egg, exactly.
Okay.
Garlic.
Okay.
Your fresh chilies. At this point, people know how I make my sauce already. Onions, tomato paste, and brodo. It doesn't get more complicated than that.
Okay,
but,
then?
This is like a little, should I say this is more like a curry, but it's a seasoned curry. It's like a fried rice seasoning.
Okay.
So I just want that to give the potatoes a bit of a yellowness before I put the peppers in.
Okay.
To make it red, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Yes, to make it redder.
Okay,
yes.
What about this?
People always abusing me, they know how to plate. So every time I think of plating, I always think of you guys in mind, like, what can I do? So I bought an apple to figure out how we can make the plate look pretty.
You know, for a minute, I actually thought that apple was also supposed to go into the casserole. Like you wanted a sweet taste to the spicy. That's we don't know you now. I mean, we don't. I don't even know what.
Exactly.
This is getting all right, you know what? We'll continue with all the prep. Hopefully, you get to see us putting the casserole together in this dish. Right now, though, we need to take this break. Stay with us.
It's entertainment news, and what a way to begin 2020. Making her debut on the show, all the Malians, raise your hands. The rest. Chief Malian.
No. I still don't understand that Malian stuff, honestly. I don't. I still don't get it. Like, I woke up one morning and everybody's going, I'm a Malian and I'm not a Malian. I'm like, okay, what's going on?
So where are you on the divide? Why are you on
Nowhere.
Okay,
I'm a Shineland.
Okay, all right. Shine is making her debut on entertainment news. Great to have you, Shine.
Good to
How fun.
be
All's
here
good.
too.
You're looking very nice, though.
Oh, thank you.
Titi commented on your stilettos, man. That's like 6 inches
don't
or something.
Go there. Don't
I like it.
go there.
How you doing?
Thank you. Fine. You know, we're in Lagos, so I decided to give us some downfall. You know, get some downfall.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, so let's get straight to it. The Sound City MVP Awards held over the weekend. Yeah. It was, I don't know, I think it was muted than normal. What do you think? Was there enough noise about it as it usually used to be or as it should be?
Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. I woke up on Monday morning and I found out that they already had the award on Sunday.
You see, so it was like, oh, this thing happened, right?
Yeah, like usually there's always this crazy buzz and everybody's ready. But I think maybe the reason for that, you know, a lot of people are still recovering from dirty December. So.
All right, so the Annual Music Awards that, of course, celebrate African music held over the weekend.
We affirm our will to continue expanding. The Sound City Award symbolizes this exploit. The artists in this category are icons of progress. The nominees are
Burna Boy, Nigeria. Sherman Jonesy, South Africa. Davido, Nigeria. Tiwa Savage, Nigeria. Diamond Platinums, Tanzania. Wizkid, Nigeria. Shatta Wale, Ghana. Yemi Alade, Nigeria.
All right, so the biggest winners of the day, Burna Boy. Burna Boy, 3 awards.
Yeah, 3 awards, you know, and I think he really did deserve it. Best MVP male.
Artist of the Year, MVP male, and Song of the Year.
Song of the Year. So, you know, it was great. The Song of the Year was killing them, you know, and it's still one of the songs I vibe to, you know, be killing them, you know.
Beat of that song, just made it happen. Of course, Tenny also had quite a very good year.
Yeah, it was a great year for Tenny, and I was also, I felt that she really did deserve the win, you know, because, you know, from billionaire to, you know, everything, and, you know, now she calls herself Sugar Mommy.
Sugar Mommy. Great one for Tenny.
You know, so she really did deserve it, so I think it was a great one, yeah.
And then, of course, Davido, Digital Artist of the Year, streams and all of that.
Yes, he had to take that one, especially for the fact that last year or should I say last decade, he actually did a lot of songs with international artists. Not forgetting, we got Chris Brown, we have Popcan. You know, the one he did with Popcan is actually my favorite, Risky. It's not like I don't like the one with Chris Brown, but you see, Risky, maybe because I'm a dance hall freak. And Popcan is one of my favorite dancehall artists.
Wonderful.
One of mine.
One of yours.
Shaggy
all right.
is actually my
And then finally, of course, Naira Marley, Viewer's Choice Award for Soapy.
Yeah, I hear you know how to dance that one very well.
It's not me.
Like Mike is a good soapy dancer. That didn't come out right.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on from that now, the royals are in the news. Meghan Markle, she just signed a deal with Disney. She recently, of course, signed a voiceover deal with Disney, and it is believed that Prince Harry helped her land that deal. The video surfaced where he was talking about it and all of that. Isn't that the loveliest thing to happen? I mean,
I think it's really cute, especially now. The deal actually came after they announced that they were going to quit being seniors in the royal family and all that. They want a normal life. And you know, Meghan Markle, she was an actress before now.
Very true.
So I think even if she's not going back into the proper movie scene, it's not bad just hearing her voice.
I think she'll go back. What do you think?
Like, if they're going to start doing a normal life, like looking for jobs and all that, of course she has to go back.
Exactly.
That is where her talent lies. Hey, Morgan, hey, boo-boo, we see you.
Okay, but let's see a bit of that video. I think it will make for an interesting watch.
Okay.
I mean, look at that high level, you know, in that place you are making deals.
Beautiful, just beautiful.
You're making deals. I like that. I like that.
Those are the kind of parties we should be attending
As in,
this decade. You know, we need to be in that circle.
Wonderful. All right. Now, you just said you were a dancehall fan, and dancehall music is, of course, one of your favorites.
Yeah.
Shaggy and Rihanna are in the news. Rihanna, I mean, for forever, we've been expecting an album from her. Our fans have been
her
talking
ninth studio album.
Her ninth studio, R9. Now it's coming, but there is a news that she reportedly asked Shaggy to audition to be part of that. And Shaggy's, okay, so if that happened, I love Shaggy's response. Shaggy goes like, nah, I can't, like, let the younger ones audition for that. I'm an OG, I can't do that. But if she actually did ask Shaggy to audition.
Really? You have to tell Shaggy.
Really, Shaggy, we grew up, like, Shaggy was like I mean, when you saw him with those glasses and all that, Shaggy was like a god of dance hall.
Yes.
How do you ask Shaggy
when I
to
first
audition?
saw that story, I was like, no, Rihanna, you must be kidding me. You know, because we all know, yeah, we love Rihanna. She's one of our favorite. Like, she's there for, you know, R&B. She's there for a bit of, you know, dance hall, you know, because she's from Barbados, you know, so, you know, it's an island country, not far, Jamaica and the rest. So, you know, they're all intertwined.
Exactly.
But the fact that you're telling Shaggy, who is a legend,
Shaggy,
audition, I think that's where she got it wrong.
Shaggy's like a god, right? Not a legend. Shaggy's like a god of dance hall.
So you can worship him?
Like, no,
Okay,
like
so
dance
yeah.
hall. For someone like you now, you know.
No,
So
I love Shaggy. Like,
yeah.
I still have all his albums.
Come on.
Just so you know.
Come on.
And as a little girl, I used to dream that, okay, should I say this? I was like, look, I know Shaggy is a ladies' man, but even though he's got like 5, 10, 20 wives, if he can, or 5,000 girlfriends, I want to be one of them.
Are Rihanna? But hey, come on. Does that take the shine off the album? album. If
No,
Shaggy
no,
was
it
there, do you
doesn't.
think it
It
would have
does-
done? It would, have
It
made
would
that,
still be
give-
great. It would
yeah.
still be great, you know, but like he said that he cannot audition because he's way above that.
Come on.
And I love the fact that he's still saying, you know what, I think it's still going to be one of the best albums ever because the kind of people that are already in the album, it's going to take it, you know, really, really far. Like, he's still supporting Rihanna. Now, if something like this happened in Nigeria, you know what it's going to be, right?
As in, let's say for instance now, Naira Marley say Two-Face should come and audition.
It's
To be
not
in his new album. Who beats Naira Marley? Thank you, Shine. It was great having you. Shine, when are you on radio? How do we catch hit you up on radio?
Okay, all you have to do is listen to 102.3 Max FM every weekday, 10 a.m. all the way till 2 p.m.
We'll feel more of this
and
craziness.
I got you covered because,
Yes.
yeah, we're going to go crazy while playing you the best of hits.
All right,
okay?
nice. Thank you so much, Shine. It was
Thanks,
great having
Mike,
you.
for having me.
All right,
Fun.
okay, that's it. That's all we have on entertainment news today. I wish it wouldn't end, but then it has to end. We have to head over now. We have a health discussion, and Titi has us covered on that one.
And everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you. This is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves. Everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you.
Yeah, the amazing Rihanna there. Did I tell you that I taught her a lot of those moves that she dances? Did I tell you? I'm kidding. But really, it's always a pleasure to have our next guest. It's time for us to speak health. Dr. Maimuna Yusuf Kadiri is a dynamic consultant neuropsychiatrist, and she's a fellow of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria with almost 20 years experience practicing as a physician. She's also a certified trauma counselor and neurofeedback practitioner. Thank you so much for brightening up our studio this morning.
Thank you, too.
I only wish that the topic we're speaking of today was a little happier. So today we're talking about postpartum depression. For those who are maybe tuning in for the first time or hearing about it for the first time, please could we break down what that is exactly?
So basically what postpartum depression is all about is a depression after delivery, meaning post-delivery, meaning a woman after giving birth, she now has this depression. But we shouldn't take it away from the fact that some women may actually be experiencing these symptoms before the delivery. But that was when it was now diagnosed. So that's why we say it is postpartum depression. And it's quite common. It's quite common because the fact that women generally do experience depression more than men. For women, we do also find out that after delivery, about 10% of women do also experience postpartum depression. And these are this is an issue whereby the woman has this persistent sadness. So it's not a sadness of a day or two. It's a sadness of more than a day, more than 2 days, at least minimum of 2 weeks. And the truth is that this is a woman who has just given birth. She's alive, baby is alive. So, but people who don't understand the fact that why would she be sad if she had, especially if she had a normal delivery? You know, in this part of the world, if you have a cesarean operation, you are not the Hebrew kind of woman. Or this is a normal delivery, everything went on fine, and all of a sudden, you are not happy, you are not sleeping well, you are neglecting your personal hygiene. But this is what we are telling people. When that woman is perpetually unhappy, neglecting herself, start saying she's not eating well, she's not sleeping well. But most times they say, oh, you are a nursing mother. You need to eat well. You need to eat well. You are a nursing mother. You may not be sleeping well. But you can see that the sleeping well is now affecting her health. And then she's crying. A lot of times you see them crying profusely, weeping, sometimes even wailing. That is not the time for the people around her to trivialize her issues or even be in denial. That
I was actually going to mention that because as soon as a woman gives birth, in my opinion, there is this bubble around the child.
Exactly.
So
everybody
everyone
focuses on the...
Yes, they focus on the child and they tend to, I don't want to use the word neglect, but that is what it is.
Yeah.
They neglect to actually focus on
the
woman.
mom.
So you mentioned crying, you mentioned perpetual sadness. But what about attachment to the child?
That is also not there. So because there are too many people around most times, people are not seeing that because she feeds. So they'll bring the baby, feed your baby. She feeds the baby and then they take the baby away. They will not understand that there's what they call that bonding. She's not really cuddling the baby. She's not even interested. Okay. She pushes the baby away at any point in time. That interest, because lack of interest in things ordinarily you love to do, is one of the symptoms of depression. So that bonding, that interest of wanting to hold our baby, cuddle our baby is not there.
I have to, there's probably someone nursing a child right now,
Yeah.
you know, watching right now. And for, if that is you, the first thing I would like to say is, it's not your fault.
Exactly. Please.
You're not a bad mom.
Exactly.
But we're trying to get to the bottom of how to work on this problem. So what's the first advice that you would give, you know, people around a woman that's going through this?
Please, especially for our mothers. They love us, they care for us, they are happy they are now grandmothers, especially the first-time grandmothers. They need to understand that, yes, eating for two is much more than that. They need to look at the emotions of that mom, that woman, that, look, what is it? Is there any problem? You want to tell me anything? Is there any issue?
We have to keep this topic going, and we're going to be back after this quick break. The doctor is still with us. Welcome back. We're still talking health, and Dr. Yusuf Kadri is still in the building. We've been talking about PPD, postpartum depression, and we have quite a lot to still cover. Please share with us some cases or a case that you had to deal with.
The truth is that there are so many cases, but at least this particular one, that was her second baby. So a lot of times I need to also let people know that it's not just first-time mothers. It can be your third time that you're having a baby that you can have postpartum depression. This was her second child. She had a little girl, then this one was a little boy, and everybody was so happy. Her mom came, her mother-in-law came, siblings came, and then 3 weeks down the line, the mother-in-law stepped into the room and I was asking her, what about the baby? You've just finished feeding the baby. Can I hold the baby for you? She said, no, the baby is in the living room. And so the mother-in-law went back into the living room and then came back. She said, no, but I gave you the baby. Where is the baby? And then somehow it triggered the mother-in-law that something may be wrong and then pushed her aside. But it was already too late. She had suffocated the baby, sat on the baby, and the baby gave up.
So she was not even aware?
She wasn't aware that she did that. She wasn't even aware. Even when they finally brought her on admission, stayed for some weeks, she was still talking about the baby. 3-4 months down the line, she now started asking actively, I need my baby. I know I had a baby. And then the whole story started coming out again. And you know, the whole family was devastated. But all those symptoms were there. They didn't see it. She used to cry a lot. She was not talking about the baby.
So now the most important thing is seeking help.
That is it. Very important.
But there's a lot of stigma around seeking help.
Yeah. But the thing is that we should know that this is not the woman's fault. Seeking help is a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness of character. They shouldn't feel guilty. It can happen to anyone. Let me just tell you the truth. A lot of us as mothers, we went through the blues because that's the first stage. Depression is later, then we can have what we call the psychosis. Most of us as mothers had the blues. So a woman shouldn't see that having a postpartum depression is a disease kind of, but seeking help on time is very key so that she can help herself and likewise help the baby so that at least we won't have what we call the infanticide. So seeking help is very good. And the truth is that seeking help does not necessarily have to be medication. It can just be therapy, counseling. That's the first step before.
Thank you so much,
any other
Doctor,
thing.
for coming to talk to us about it.
Yeah.
And once again, if there is a young mom out there, it is not your fault.
Yeah.
Seek help if you need it. Please get help as soon as you can. We have to move on with the show now, and I know that Yomi is standing by with our next guest.
Yeah, we have Carmen Esther Chidinma Kazan, also known as Carmen Amaka, who was born in Cologne, Germany, but is of Nigerian and Polish descent. She started playing the piano as her first musical instrument from way back, and also learned to play the Traverse flute. She is a multilingual and speaks up to 6 languages, believe it or not. And she's in Nigeria for a little bit, and we just caught up with her, dragged her to the studio, and thought, let's have a conversation with her before she heads back. How you doing, Carmen?
I'm doing great.
I love your outfit.
Thank you very much.
With the traditional Igbo lion head.
Exactly.
Wow, wow. So you're making a statement.
Of course. Anywhere I go, I represent.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, I love your video, the one where you did the techno cover,
Thank
and
you
you're
very
wearing the Ankara outfit and all
Yes.
that. Why did you choose that song, though? The B song that you chose?
I don't know why. I think techno didn't really put that out,
Yeah.
but when it got out, it was a vibe for me. So I love the whole concept.
Yeah, and I like that you put a little bit of the European flavor in the song.
Yeah, kind of, yes.
You had that twist in there. So you've been in Nigeria for about 3 weeks now,
Exactly.
and so how's it been? I mean, you were here for December, and it's still here in January.
It's been great. It's been a dirty December, like for everyone.
Yeah.
But I was also here to put in some work, do some studio work, work in my music.
Yeah. And of course, you're doing a couple of things that are going to be out soon. You have an EP that's going to be out sometime this year.
Yes, correct.
And so tell me the kind of producers you work with. I know that you have a strong European influence, but you also have a Nigerian background as well. So are you trying to fuse both? And tell us about your music.
Not really. The thing is, the way I grew up, yes, I grew up in Europe, but quite very African bound. So I'm definitely more into my roots, and my sound is more Afro pop infused than anything else. So yes, I have my own creative team here, and
So very nice. I mean, one of the things that I know you do is you also do a lot of dance in your younger years. Do you still dance a lot, or you tone that down a little bit?
I used to dance a lot, turn it down, also to some injuries that I had.
Oh, you had some injuries.
Yeah, I actually just recovered, and I started to get back at it just like last year.
Yeah, so the acceptance to your music. I know that, again, Europe is very diverse. You have different people. I mean,
Correct.
Eastern Europe is completely different from Western Europe.
Oh, yes.
But so people accept a lot of different kind of music, even African music. I know people like Fela that did Afrobeat in the 70s.
Oh, yes.
Had a lot of draw, Sonny Ade and the rest of them. So what's the response like to your music, especially when you infuse your African flavor into it?
I must say, Nigerian music especially is going global right now. Everybody's into it. Even in Europe, in places where actually not really black people go into, white people will listen to at least 2-3 Nigerian songs, and it's crazy. But since I said I'm more into my roots, I think when the type of music I'm doing is first get the love from where I come from.
Yeah.
And if my sound is accepted in a way, the rest will come.
Exactly.
The rest will accept it anyways. But, it's like if you're selling amala over there,
Exactly.
you would rather sell it here than over there.
Yeah,
so
over there. That's really important and very key. I mean, you're in Nigeria now, and your people have this connection with you because they feel, you know how we are in Nigeria. Once somebody's doing something, we're like, she's Nigerian, and all of that. So that's the kind of response that you also want at home, where people want to connect with you. And so, what are the things that you're looking at for 2020? So you have your EP coming out. What do you hope Nigerians would gain, or what kind of acceptance do you want?
I like to come to Lagos and hear my sounds and all radio
on the
stations.
radio stations and everybody talking about you all the time. Anyway,
that's what 2020 goal.
Yeah, so we're wishing you all the best in this year, and of course we'll be looking out for you and finding out what you're up to all over the world.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we're going to feel some of your music as we go to the top of the hour. Carmen, ladies and gentlemen, is here with us.
When you go, wanna be the same. Where you they so, my lover, my baby tomato. You they make my heart wanna bolo. Now we two be perfect combo, my lover. 1 + 1 no be 2, baby 1 no. When you're close to me, baby more. 1 + 1 no be 2, baby 1 no. We too fine, yeah, baby more. 1 + 1 no be 2, baby 1 no. When you're close to me.
All right, really interesting conversation there. Welcome back to the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Chef AY Subs is still in charge, and she's making us casserole this morning, but in our style. Okay, so if you're sitting here like, this doesn't look like casserole, well, she's doing it in her own style. AY Subs special spicy casserole. The ingredients are currently on your screen. We're making use of prawns, onions, chicken, chili blend, ground beef, tomato paste, mixed potatoes, and seasoning cubes.
Yes, I forgot the beef.
Yeah.
I just realized I forgot the beef.
Yeah.
But there's prawns, there's chicken, there's turkey. So maybe the turkey can replace the beef.
Okay. So let's get started. What have we done so far? Because these weren't ready before we took that break.
Okay, so with the potatoes that we cut into cubes, we just boiled it with really tiny salt. Got it to be soft enough but not mushy enough. Strained it, poured cold water on it to stop the cooking, and then we fried it in oil, very little oil and seasoning.
Yeah.
That was it essentially with the potatoes. That's why it has that color. So it's that curry thing that I showed you that has that color.
Yeah.
And then with the spaghetti, what we did was boil it as well, which the viewers saw when we were doing.
Yeah.
Once it was done, I made the sauce, my normal, I mean, if you watch this, like I kept saying, you know how to do my sauce. My normal onions in a pan, tomato paste, and chilies with seasoning cube. Yeah. And once the pepper sauce was fried, I essentially just tossed the spaghetti into it. Oh, I missed the point actually, because remember we threw in the prawns.
Yes,
we threw in the prawns in the sauce. Yes. Yeah, so we threw in the prawns that we cut into bits in the sauce. And yeah, there you have your jollof-looking spaghetti. And now what I'm doing is I'm mixing in the potatoes.
Okay.
With, because this is going to go in the oven, innit? Because we're going to put a little bit of cheese and get that melted. So this essentially is going to get tossed, like I'm just tossing in the potatoes. That will give it a beautiful sweetness. Like you won't believe how it would work because it's spicy but then sweet, like AY. But then this is the chicken that we fried. Okay. Don't do this at home. It's pretty hot.
Yeah, but I was about to say that don't do this at home.
Don't.
AY is known for touching hot things like she's touching cool things. Very, very special.
Yeah, so look at how good that looks though. Like, I don't even know if we should even call this, maybe we should even change the name to like I don't even know. I'm confused myself because this just has a lot of like, and this is all leftovers. This is what I try and encourage people to do. Keep stuff. That extra chicken you can't eat, keep it in your fridge. Come up with something and just toss it up. It would work out.
Most times casseroles are made of leftovers.
Exactly.
That, and then you just toss it up together. Put cheese on top. Cheese is the secret ingredient.
Voila.
And it all comes
there
together.
You have it. So yeah, we're just going to toss in the rest of the potatoes, like I did mention. And then, because, you know, cheese is not really a national something. It's really expensive. So I can only bring in 1 sheet. But you,
Hey, why?
It's expensive. So if you don't have cheese, you can use wara, in my opinion, Sean. You know what wara is?
Will it work?
Yeah, I think, to me, wara is like fermented ghost cheese. Okay. So like whatever, it still has that, you know, should I say sport cowish taste?
Okay.
Milk style.
Okay.
But yeah, what I'm going to do is, because I'm not sure if the guest would like cheese, because cheese is not favorite, I'm going to put it on one side.
Okay.
For if they want it on.
Okay.
And this goes in the oven.
The eggs?
That's just going to be in the as garnishing. It's already boiled.
Okay, so the eggs and, of course, the apple there. We need to take this break, though. It's the top of the hour. 2 hours over, 45 minutes left to go. Of course, you get to check out the meal at the end of the show. Stay with us. It's Wake Up Nigeria.
Well, 2 hours gone by already, and this is the last 45 minutes of your feel-good family television show. Promises to be fantastic.
Yes, indeed. 2 hours have gone by already. The last lap is where we are. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us the license to thrill. And of course, thrill, we will.
Oh, boy.
Why now? Why are you doing this to me?
I'm just thinking about the James Bond film that's coming up.
What?
I think it's coming this year.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think in April or something. Yeah.
What's the name of the movie?
It's not licensed to thrill, though.
But that license part, I get it. I get it. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. Get online and join us. Stream with us live, even right now, at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Send in those comments as soon as you can. We would love to hear from you. Use that hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We've talked about quite a lot of interesting things today already. You should go back and watch if you missed it.
Yeah, and don't forget our app is available for you to download on any device. You can watch us around the world. The ladies are getting, doing some crazy things in the kitchen.
Yeah, like crazy. When Chef AY is around, you know there's some craziness going on in that
potatoes in spaghetti.
Well, most of the work is happening in the oven right now.
Oven!
Yeah.
Oven too.
So you see the, you
Yeah,
can see
can
the
you show them like a little something, something?
Yeah, and you can...
God is my help.
And you can see the pan.
You aren't touching
hot.
hot things.
Don't show them anything. Leave it.
Let's show them now. Let's show them the colors.
Why?
She wants to show us the colors.
Good.
Good.
And you have to know the consistency you're going for as well.
Yeah.
Yes, it does look good.
You see the cheese is all melted and it'll get browner and it will come together, I promise.
Oh, boy.
And it'll taste too.
Oh.
AY subs.
If you're a lover of cheese, if you load this thing with cheese, you will blow.
All right, we gotta go, guys. On parenting, we have the founder of Fab Mom Angie, Jane, and she's gonna be joining us to talk about activities to engage in during maternity leave. Yeah.
And finally, we have a double dose of delight. The dynamic duo of Gemstone and SOP Records are going to be right here for a chat.
Very nice. Very is it melodious or melodic?
Okay, so No Time to Die, that's the movie we're talking about. Oscar nominations, of course, yesterday was picked up Joker, the highest
11 nominations. Wow, amazing.
1917 and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 10 nominations each. But then
Little Women also got 9 nominations.
Sure.
Wow.
No black in the top except Cynthia Erivo, of course, who has Nigerian roots, by the way.
Yeah.
So she's the one amongst the top, the 4 major awards, which is Best Male, Best Female, Best Supporting Male, Best Supporting Female.
Yeah.
But everybody's calling the Oscars a joke because people are pissed that Joker will stand the chance to win the most.
Yeah.
It's going to be like the first superhero or anti-superhero.
And I thought it was. I mean, I thought it was.
No, Joker is the kind of Oscar kind of movie. It's this kind of movie that you know that.
Not bad. And
well, very deep though.
Very deep.
Very deep movie.
We're talking about something during Coffee Gist, and people are going all over Joker again. Okay, we'll be all right.
Meanwhile, next tomorrow, Witcher, that show.
Oh yeah, I saw it. I saw a few episodes.
Wow, really? It's not that
We have to go to the news now.
Sarah is on standby.
Sarah with a big smile.
Wow, did you just do this? Okay, we'll get to talk about the movies later, but then let's take a look at the news update at this time. The finance bill has been signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari, and it is specially designed to support the implementation of this year's budget. This is equal to its passage by the National Assembly and subsequent forwarding to the President for assent. Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, explains in a statement that the finance law has 5 strategic objectives. They are promoting fiscal equity, reforming domestic tax laws, introducing tax incentives, supporting micro, small and medium-sized businesses, and raising revenues for government. Meanwhile, Nigerians will now pay 7.5% as value-added tax after its increase from 5% was captured in the approved finance law. The new rate is expected to shore up revenue and will be deployed to fund the health and education sectors as well as infrastructure projects. A Deputy President of the Senate, Ovio Omagege, has refuted claims of being convicted for some charges leveled against him by a court in the U.S. state of California. Senator Omagege insists that he has been cleared of all charges in the said case, referring to the recent allegations as unfounded and misleading. He affirms his commitment to his mandate and reiterates that he will not be distracted by antics of some politicians seeking to stir up confusion through mere mischief. Meanwhile, the National Association of Nigerian Students has described the detention of Mr. Shehu Sani as unfair, prearranged and politically motivated. The association says both the giver and receiver in the alleged extortion should be investigated accordingly. It also urges the EFCC to purge itself of criminal elements within its fold or as associates. Remember the story of one Ajayi Omolola who was trafficked to Lebanon from where she cried for help? Well, TVC News can authoritatively report that she is now happily in the hands of the Nigerian ambassador in Beirut. She was warmly received and she says she's happy to be in safe hands. She will be home soon. Now, the man who held her hostage has also been apprehended. TVC News first reported the story on the 9th of January when the chairman Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabirewa, was tagged on Twitter to help the lady trapped in Lebanon. Before this, in October last year, TVC News exclusively reported about 3 other ladies who were in slavery in Lebanon. They have now been freed and reunited with their families. Well, that's the news updates for this time. Stay tuned.
Thank you for staying tuned. It is time for parenting. And talking about parenting, we've got Jane Ugoye here with us. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
Okay, now she's a journalist by day and a mommy blogger by night. The founder of Fab Mom NG, a parenting and lifestyle resource platform for moms. And she's going to be talking about self-care for new moms. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you, Mary.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's start immediately because last week we talked about productive things that new moms can do during their maternity leave. Yeah. So be it maternity leave period or after maternity leave, what are the ways a new mom can care for herself?
Okay, so let's just dive in. First things first, she needs to accept help, ask for help, and be open, to, people helping her out. Because I know that the first thing on the minds of a new mom is
to do everything.
To do everything. You want to be that perfect mom, especially if you're a first-time mom. So, but it's very important that you accept help because that's the only time you can be less, you have one less thing to think about, and that's the only time you can be less stressed.
So it's important to accept help.
Yes, ask for help and accept help.
Okay. Now, if you're staying with your let's say for example your mother-in-law comes for what the Igbos call omugo. In that kind of situation, you'd be like, your husband's mom. You probably don't want to ask for help. And for fear of being tagged, she's too demanding, she was stressing me, I was in my son's house, all those stuff. So how then do you get the help you need?
Okay, well, so why is mommy in the house in the first place? Is to help me, right?
Yeah.
To ease me into the whole phase of being a mom, especially for a first-time mom. So I think the help in this particular instance should come naturally. So you have to speak out. That's the thing. This whole notion that asking for help makes you look weak is very wrong. And, it has sent a lot of moms into depression. Yeah. Because the thing is, a new mom can have lots of people around her and still be lonely.
Yes, that's true.
So if you don't voice out No one will know what your needs
through.
are, what your thoughts are. Because for a new mom, the first and the most important thing is your mental health and your sanity. Every other thing is secondary. Because if you are not mentally healthy, is there a word like that? You can't take care of your baby as much as you would love to. So just speak out, ask. If your mom-in-law is not open to helping you, which I doubt, because if she weren't, she wouldn't be in your house in the first place.
And of course, she'll still be excited about it.
Exactly.
But of course, it also depends on the relationship you have with your mother-in-law. But
yeah.
that's probably something for another day.
Something else, yes. And the next thing is try and find sleep. I know they say there's this saying, this popular saying that sleep when baby sleeps. And people say, okay, so should I clean when baby cleans?
You know, this thing you said is so underrated.
Yeah.
Sleep. Like for a new mom, sleep is essential.
It is. It's like the life wire. It's very, very essential because if you are sleep deprived, you can't do anything, even as someone who's not even a mom.
Yeah.
Because baby is going to be yearning for your attention. If you are breastfeeding exclusively, baby will wake up several times at night to breastfeed. So you have to be in the right frame of mind to be able to carry out those duties and those responsibilities very well. So it's very important that you pay attention to sleep. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to sleep for 1 hour at a stretch. So if you can find those quick 10 minutes, 5-minute naps, just, take them and you'll see that you'll be full of life. I don't know, there's something sleep does.
It more or less energizes you. You feel even better.
Exactly. Then as a new mom, I know the last thing on your mind is to go make your hair, take care of your skin. I know you
can barely leave your child already.
You can't. So what do? Invite someone over to the house, to come make your hair. It doesn't have to be something so extra. Just a simple cornrow would do, so that, I don't know, there's something it does to your psyche. And so
it boosts your confidence.
Exactly. Yeah. And when people come see you, you don't look all tacky because you've just had a child. Then try and, once you accept help, it will be possible for you to take walks, regular walks out of your home. Just in the evening, take regular strolls, have your partner or your in-law, mom-in-law, tend to baby and just take a simple 5 minutes walk around your neighborhood. Let the cold breeze, warm breeze or whatever, hit your face. You come back, you are refreshed, you take a shower.
Some people just even stay on their, their balcony, just look out.
That won't do so much because you are still in the home. You will still hear your baby cry. And you'll be like...
Oh, so you have to go as far away as possible.
Not so far, but like your environs, maybe your streets, just take a walk. Or even if you go stand at your gates, depending on how safe your area is. But it's very important that new moms also find time for themselves.
Okay.
Basically, those are the
most
major
important.
things.
Now, for some people, there's this, will I call it attention, affection for their children. Because it's a child you've probably been looking for 10 years.
Or even your first
years,
child.
Or even your first child. You don't want to let that child out of your sight. So how do you get those kind of women to take care of themselves?
The thing is, you just have to tell her that if you love your child like you claim to, you have to take care of yourself. Because taking care of yourself is an essential part of loving your child. Yeah? Loving yourself, loving your child. If you love your child, you would love yourself. Because if you are alive, if you are mentally okay, everything is fine, that is the only way and the only time you can give your child the best of you.
Now, besides sleeping, and of course, you have your mother-in-law, other people helping you to do chores and stuff to make it lighter and easier on you, it's also important to eat well. I'm sure you'll agree. So when it comes to eating, what are the kind of things that you need to tell a new mom to do?
Eat healthy. If you are breastfeeding, I'm not a fitness expert, but I know for most breastfeeding moms, they feel they are eating for two. But they'll just tell you, eat healthy. And the last thing on your mind should be losing weight. You've just had a new baby, your body underwent changes for 9 months. So you won't expect all that weight to just go off overnight. So just take your time, enjoy the phase with your newborn, because there'll be plenty of time, to lose weight. Just eat healthy. You don't need to exercise so much. Well, depending on if you had a C-section or a vaginal birth, So the most important thing is eat healthy, exercise, maybe brisk walking. And when you feel strong enough, then, and also it depends on your pre-pregnancy states, how fit you were before then. Then breastfeeding, we need to talk about that. For a lot of people, it does not come naturally. A lot of moms, you know, have to struggle, you know.
Yes.
So, but if breastfeeding isn't working for you, in quotes, so what do? Substitute with formula. It doesn't make you a weak mom. It doesn't make you a failure, you know. Babies who are, my children were not breastfed exclusively for obvious reasons, because I had triplets, and they are 6 now and they are thriving, you know. Right from when I had them, I substituted with formula. And if you see them and see a breastfed child, I mean, there's
You can
literally
never
no
tell the
difference, you know, so don't even judge yourself.
Because
you know?
at that moment, when, you know, when you just had a baby, the eating for 2 thing is something that is very common.
Exactly.
People believe that, oh, you have to eat for an extra
Yeah.
child. In your case, for example, you had to eat for 4. But what was your diet like?
When I was breastfeeding?
Yes.
When I had them, rather.
Yes.
I just ate healthy. The normal pepper soup, normal soups, I ate healthy. At that time, I didn't gain so much weight as I currently am, you know. So then I was just eating to even add some weight. Ironical, Abi.
Because I'm sure your mother was like, you're not eating well. Look at you now. You need to feed my baby.
So for me at that time, I wish I knew some of the things I know now. Sleep was the major, sleep deprivation was real. When I had them, I was forcefully taken to another room so that I could sleep, you know. So that I was really thankful for. That was at the hospital. But even when I was at the other room, once I hear their cries,
you're up.
I'm up. Ah, they're crying.
Mommy.
So sometimes they'll lock the door, sleep.
Yeah.
You know, so I think for new moms, whether you having multiples or singletons,
sleep is the most important.
Enforce it.
Thank you so much, Jane. Thank
you.
you so much. Jane Ogoye is a fantastic farm mom. Yes, that's the way to put it. There's a performance coming up by Gemstone right about now. I'm sure we're looking forward to that one.
But the heart is a mess, feeling like a villain cause you're caught in a web. Tonight I am walking away, 9 to 5 mind on the grind. Skin girl, skin just like pearls, back against the world. I never trade you for anybody else, say brown skin girl, skin just like pearls, best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else, say. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Bad girl, bad girl. It's Gemstones. I heard you're looking for a bad girl. We got you wait. We fit to hold you night and day.
Come back. It's time for us to meet the bad girls.
Meet the bad girls? Really?
That's what they said. That's
in
what,
the song?
Okay, that's what they said in the song.
It
Oh,
is.
okay. Right. Yeah. Okay, so they're good girls.
Yes, they are good girls.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
He's not so sure.
Okay, we're talking about Awagu Uzoma Ruby and Awagu Olama Pearl. Born 9 minutes apart. October 18th. 1994.
They're still pretty young.
Goodness me. Now, through the years in Queen's College and their years in university, Pearl and Ruby were both actively involved in music. Now, their music career probably began in 2015 when they auditioned for Project Fame. And since then, they moved to other things by signing to SOP.
Yeah, the SOP record label. So how's it been? It's been 2 years, or almost 3 years now.
Yeah, it's been.
Oh, it's been more than that.
About 4 years.
Okay, about 4
actually.
years on
Yeah,
SOP.
it's been a pretty amazing experience. It was a great platform. It's been a great experience. And I feel we're very grateful for the platforms we've had so far in our career. Not everybody gets to have these opportunities, and we've had quite an experience, you know, pushing our music. So being with a record label was one of those. It was a great push. We met with a lot of people, had a network that really pushed our career. Yeah, it was great.
All right. I love seeing twins doing great things because, you know, I have to say.
she's got twins.
Yeah.
Yes, we know.
Yeah. Okay, so they know not because I went to go and tell them. Goodness me. So they just happened to be at the same audition, and my kids starred in a TV commercial with them.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And one of them is Ruby, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
one of them
like
is
a
Ruby.
personal thing.
So they work together on the...
Yes, we actually
Okay, so
did.
they played the younger version of them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's family.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
So, but it was really interesting to meet you, and I have to say your voices. I didn't know they were so rich live. That's the truth, because you know, you hear the CD version and all that, and you're like, okay, they've edited it small, but then you guys sound really good. So I have a feeling there's some real training behind that. Who have you been working with?
I'm gonna let her say that.
Well, I would say our first professional experience was with Project Fame, of course, and we worked with some major industry heads. There was Mommy J, that's Mrs. Joke Silva. She is amazing. So she trained us on emoting, you know, letting the emotions of your music come through, even with the lyrics and how you perform and all of that. And then there was Uncle Ben. Master. That's all I'm gonna say. He is phenomenal. And there was Mrs. Ige, some really amazing people, and we had a choreographer, Miss Lovett. It was so it was an all-round shaping experience.
You saw the choreography.
Oh yeah, I saw it. I saw the
actually
movement.
say before that we had some experience in Queen's College. Shout out to them. We had this amazing choir director who actually really, yes, he was amazing.
We haven't seen him since
yes, but I will never forget.
Never forget.
It was amazing.
So this is like, I mean, with your choreography, your music, everything that you do, this is your life,
yes,
right?
it is.
This is what you've been doing for a while, and it's like it has defined a lot of things about you, about your life, and all of that. And people that follow you are saying, "Oh, this is what I want to be." So, what do you want to say to someone who's really young? They're in Queen's College right now, and they're saying to themselves, "I want to be that." What does it take?
I'd say take it seriously very early. Take it seriously. Take steps to improve your craft. Study. It's a lot better when you actually know what you're doing early, and you don't find your way around things. Because I think we did a bit of that, and we started to experience things, and it got better for us. But if you could, hit the ground running, it's perfect. So do that.
Hit the ground running. Start early, with parental support, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yes.
To know what your dream is and what your passion is, and just stick to it. Because you're lucky if you have parental support. We were lucky. We were very lucky. Our dad took us to the Project Fame auditions. Like, took us
Sat down
there.
and waited.
To your dream. We had that much support. But even in the event that you don't, it's impossible. If you don't have a strong resolve, you easily just be blown into the medicine or the law.
She did not do that.
Speaking of courses,
She did not do that.
I was ask about that because you did mention study.
Yes.
So what did you study, both of you?
I studied foreign languages.
I studied biochemistry.
That's two. So I can already see two different personalities.
Left the world.
Yeah.
You know.
So two different personalities, and with twins, there's always the more feisty one, and there's the one that's more calm.
For us, we
it's
missed
not
that
that
train.
way. Yeah.
We missed the train.
It did not happen with
I think
us.
we switch personalities a
A
lot.
lot.
If we're hanging out with people I'm more familiar with, she's going to be a bit
Quiet,
reserved, and
yeah.
I'll be the chatty person. But then if it's her friends, then she'll lead the conversation.
Alright.
So I would say we switch up a lot.
But what about the roles with music now? So who does the writing? Who does the choreography? Who does
We
that?
both do everything.
Have it any other way. I would fight my way.
Honestly, like we could be working on a song, and let's say I come up with something, I have an idea, I have some inspiration, and I write something, and I tell her, oh, Ruby, this is really nice, so I need a second verse, and I'm thinking it should go like this. She will make sure that she doesn't do what I say. She wants to,
Yeah, so personalize her verse. So she just be like, no.
So I know you guys are into a little bit of fashion as well, right?
Yes. So aside music, we're actresses, we're voiceover artists, we're content creators, we're script writers. So we're basically
we're entertainers.
Your CD out there, so
yeah.
Say your market. Say your market.
Exactly. Yeah. And right now we're independent artists. Our deal with SOP is over, so we're on our own now, and you know we're toughing it out on our own. So it's
all right.
It's been quite a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of design, fashion design, I love what you're wearing. Did you design this yourself?
I wish I could say yes, but no. Okay. This was a gift from our big sister.
All right then.
Very nice.
But I have to say, it's really, you have this infectious energy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
like
everybody in the studio is just loving you guys.
Thank you so much.
Very nice. We're probably going to try and hook you up with a couple of the single gentlemen.
Really?
If you guys are interested.
Taking forms right now.
Oh, really?
Taking forms. 2020, you have to be intentional about it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm sure they're glad that I mentioned that.
Yes. So single, searching.
Single, seriously engaged to music right now. I think it's the same with both of us.
Yeah.
Engaged to music.
Get that,
Sis! Speaking for myself, apparently.
get that money in first.
Yes, actually, we're very committed to that.
So who's the bigger foodie here?
She loves to cook.
And you love to eat.
She likes to eat. So I would say we're both foodies. Yes. But I like to explore. And I do not.
Okay.
She's a very picky eater. I think God blessed me with a belly for many.
You know what? Let's go find out what the chef has put down for us. And we'll find out.
Smells amazing.
How you feel about it.
That's Chef AY for us.
Yes, please take a walk with us. Okay. Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hi.
All right.
Welcome to the kitchen for you guys. Okay, so let's just leave this for the camera.
Okay.
I was actually going to leave this together, so let's just, so
see
everyone can see.
Yeah. What
Chef AY, believe it or not, plated this
Hey,
herself.
lies.
Miracle.
Lies.
Miracle. You did this yourself.
I helped you with this, but you did this part yourself.
Talk to us about it.
But tell us about this.
Like I did say earlier, it's more or less like my version of my own casserole. So it's pasta, it's prawns, it's spice, it's chicken, it's cheese, potatoes. Amazing. So sweet and spicy. That's like the best way to put it for you. But I hope you guys like chili.
Yeah.
Why are you joining me?
I love. She's the chili pro. No, she's not.
Oh wow.
Pepper meter is down there.
More potatoes and less spaghetti.
So that's the cheese in there.
Yes.
So I find that really weird because you're the picky eater and you like chili.
I think it's just a weird thing.
Let them try it out.
All right,
whoever eats more can have this, and whoever eats less can have that one. I guess.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Have a taste.
No, she eats more, according to...
Nah, she doesn't. I just agreed to eat more kinds of food.
You ready? Like chili.
Bless this food, Lord.
Oh, that is so cute.
This is good home training.
Bless this food, oh Lord. Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's do this. Ready?
Ready?
We're holding our breath.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
What do you think?
I love... Let me just come back to you.
Okay. While they're musing the lyrics they're going to write for this song, we need to wrap up the show.
Looks like Mike is taking care of himself.
As usual.
In the corner.
And he's using the airpods.
A big
Not
shout
bad,
out to our friends at Homely NG
Yes,
for the
indeed.
kitchen accessories.
And as usual, a big thank you to our guests on the show, everyone who joined us on the show today. Shout out to all of you. And Gemstones, well done.
Yeah.
Wish you all the best in 2020. We're going to be looking out for
They
you.
look like the best anyway. You're probably gonna have a smash. It is what it is.
And praying for you guys as well.
Thank you so much.
Lots of prayers.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right then. So be with us again tomorrow from 6 a.m. people. Have a great day. Bye.